What's up guys, Brandon Johnson here again, and thanks for joining me. Today we're taking a look at a good old flat picking tune called Wheelhouse. Now this is a really good tune for practicing both your cross picking and your lead playing. And it's very straightforward. It's just a G chord for the entire song with one G to D turnaround. But one thing that's unique about this song is that there's actually a measure of 3 in the B part at the very end of the song, and that's really what makes this song unique. Because every fiddle tune kind of has something about it that's unique, whether it's a melodic feature or maybe a crooked measure. And in this case, we have a measure of 3. There's some great versions online of David Greer playing it, and also a really cool version of Ricky Skaggs playing it, where he takes a lead on mandolin and then actually switches to guitar and takes a lead on guitar. Really fun song to play, great song to know, and a great song to build your speed as well, because it lends itself really well to playing fast. So I hope you enjoy this one. Let's check it out. Okay, so let's take a look at Wheelhouse now. So we're looking at the A part, and this is measure number 1. And what we're really doing here is we're starting with a G major arpeggio in the open position. So when we talk about the open position, we're talking about kind of the G major open chord. And that G major open chord is going to be made up of a 1, a 3, and a 5 chord tone. So when we talk about the G major arpeggio, we're going to start with the root note, which is the 3rd fret low E. And then on an upstroke, we're going to skip over the A string and we're going to play an upstroke on that open D and a downstroke on the open G. So those are the first 3 notes of Wheelhouse. And you're really just, you're making use of a lot of open strings on this song. So we're going to land on that open G, and that's an 8th note, so there's a slight pause there. And then what I like to play with my middle finger here is the 3rd fret D to open D to 3rd fret D, and then that open G again. And then you'll see kind of a repeat of the first 3 notes of this measure, which is going to be your 3rd fret low E, skipping the A string, open D, and then your open G. We're going to play with our index finger and our middle finger on an upstroke, the 2nd fret D, 3rd fret D, open D, and then we're going to do a little bit of a major walk down here on the A string, so 3rd fret A string to 2nd. Okay, and that's going to lead us into measure number 2. Okay, when we look at measure number 2 now, you'll see again the same 3 notes that we had at the beginning of measure number 1, right? So we have that G open position arpeggio there. And then we have the 2nd fret to 3rd fret to 2nd fret. And then we have an open D on a downstroke. And then we're skipping that G and we're going up to the B string this time, and we're going to play the same pattern, so 2nd fret B to 3rd fret B to 2nd fret B. And then a downstroke on the open B. And this time we're going to backtrack a little bit, so we're going to play 3rd fret B to 2nd fret B to open. And then to the open G. Right, so that little line on the B string is going to sound like this. And then right at the end of measure number 2 right there, you're going to see a hammer-on from the 2nd fret low E to that 3rd fret low E. And that 3rd fret low E is our root note. So what we're really doing here is we're kind of playing like a little hammer-on into the G chord here. And that 3rd fret low E, that root note, is going to be at the beginning of measure number 3. So I like to play this hammer-on, this 2nd fret to 3rd fret E hammer-on an upstroke. And you'll see why in the next measure. But I think, in a lot of cases, people are used to playing that kind of G major hammer-on a downstroke. So if you wanted to do that on a downstroke, you could do that as well. It's really just a matter of personal preference. Okay, so let's play measures 1 and 2 now, all the way through the metronome. 1, 2, 3, 4, 2, 2, 3, 4. One, 2, 3, 4, 2, 2, 3, 4. Okay, and that leads us into measure number 3. Okay, when we look at measure number 3 now, so we've got kind of the same arpeggio going on here, except for instead of skipping the A string on this one, we're going to be playing the full G major chord here. And remember, we're coming off of that hammer-on an upstroke. So we're going to start here with this 2nd fret to 3rd fret low E. And then we're going to land on the 2nd fret A. And we're going to continue that arpeggio all the way up. So we're going to be playing the hammer-on, 2nd fret A, and then open D and open G. And then again, it's very similar to what we had in measure number 1 from here on out. In fact, it's exactly the same. And really the only difference here is that you're adding that 2nd fret A into the picture and also that hammer-on. So you're going to actually, for that open G, instead of that being on an 8th note like it is in measure number 1, it's going to be on a 16th note. So you can hear how there's no gap there in between like there was in measure number 1. All right, so the rest of it's the same as measure number 1. So let's take a look at measure number 4 now, and that'll be the last measure of the A part. Okay, so when we look at measure number 4 now, you'll notice that really the first half of this measure is the same as measure number 2. So again, we have that G major arpeggio going on. And then just like we had in measure number 4, we're going to go to that 2nd fret to 3rd fret to 2nd fret D to open D. And then similar to what we did in measure number 2, it's going to start kind of the same here in measure number 4. So we're going to go to that B string and we're going to start playing the 2nd fret to 3rd fret B. And then right here is where things get a little bit different and a little bit more challenging. So what we're going to do here is we're going to play that 2nd fret to 3rd fret B. And then with our index finger, we're going to slide down 1 fret to the 1st fret B. Okay, so you're actually changing position here. What I actually like to do here is play that line on the D string, and then come up to the B string, change position, and then right here with our ring finger, we're just going to play, right, which is kind of like your standard classic bluegrass turnaround there. Okay, so let's play measures 3 and 4 now, all the way through to the metronome. 1, 2, 3, 4, 2, 2, 3, 4. One, two, three, four, 2, 2, 3, 4. All right, let's play the A part now, all the way through to the metronome. 1, 2, 3, 4, 2, 2, 3, 4. One, two, three, 4, 2, 2, 3, 4. Okay, and that leads us into part B.